Good evening. Welcome to the March 11th Valley View School Board meeting. Mr. Badouris, would you lead us? I'd ask you all rise, turn your cell phones on quiet, and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Member Pero, can you give us the board affirmation statement, please?
Our mission is to empower all learners to be college and career ready and to develop, grow, and achieve as productive citizens.
Thank you. Dr. Mitchum, the agenda, please.
Yes, I'd like to ask that the board approve the agenda as presented.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Gary?
Treasurer's Report 5.1 is the monthly financial reports, balance sheet, summary of revenue and expenditures, as well as the interim obligation payments for the month of February, totaling $3,827,444.87 for your action this evening.
Motion?
So moved.
Motion and seconded. Roll call vote would be in order.
Member Pero?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Treasurer's Action Report 5.2 is the schedule of bills for the month of March. We've got 6 funds represented there, totaling $2,231,659.07, also for your action.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Pero?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Information reports 5.3, the summary of investments, 5.4, the state funding update, and 5.5, the all schools trust account are for information only. If you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions? I see that the state funding is down a little bit, which is good. What they owe us is down.
The bulk of it is anywhere between 60 and 90 days or past due, so we continue to monitor that.
Much better on than their history in the past 5 years. Consent agenda, Dr. Mitchum.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to ask that the board approve consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.5, 6.1 through 6.5, 6.1 board meeting minutes 2/25/19, 6.2 executive session meeting minutes 2/25/19, 6.3 student activity contract request approval step with Texas Roadhouse, 6.4 Illinois High School Association membership renewal, and 6.5 all school trust account activity January 2019.
Motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Member Campbell, second by Member Badouris. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Member Pero?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
And President Quigley?
Yes. Student and staff recognition. The Illinois Elementary School Association State Wrestling Qualifiers. Doesn't say what school. Judging from the first guy down. Must be Brooks.
Well, we have a variety. Good evening. We have a variety of schools represented. I just have the honor to bring them forward. Good evening, members of the board, Board President Quigley, and senior leadership, Superintendent Mitchum, and our school community, Dr. Wood, principal of Brooks Middle Schools, and I'm very pleased to bring the coaches and student athletes forward for the middle school students who qualified for the state wrestling this year. And first, coming to the mic will be our very own Coach Thomas, representing Brooks Middle School.
Good evening, everyone. I have here today with me our 8th grade wrestler, Jeremiah Moulton. Jeremiah wrestled with us since the 6th grade. And if I could describe him or any good traits about him, I would say he is a young man that is not willing to stay down. right? He started wrestling with us in 6th grade. He was getting beat up for the first 2 days, but that 3rd day he was not one to be beat on, and he stood strong and fought. To now, in his 8th grade year, he became a state qualifier. So in our sectional tournament, in my opinion, he was one of the most valuable wrestlers there. He wrestled very courageous. And I think if this young man continue and have the attitude of never giving up, never staying down, state qualifier is just going to be a minimum of his success. So thank you. Good job. Congratulations. Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing. Another good thing about Jeremiah was the support of his mother. She was at every wrestling meeting. That support cast is very important.
Dan Boulevard, head coach, Lukanzik Middle School. The young man I'm about to introduce is the epitome of hard work, dedication, and a whole lot of heart. His name is Grayson McDonald. He is our most improved wrestler this year. Started the regular season, or had a regular season record of 13-8, and just happened to peak at the right time. To qualify for the state tournament, he beat a student from New Lenox Liberty that he lost to twice this year, and had a comeback win with a deficit 1-6 to a wrestler from Morris, and won in overtime to qualify. He's a 7th grader. We're looking forward to great things from him next year. Ladies and gentlemen, Grayson McDonald. Our next young man, go ahead and step up, Brian. This is Brian Farley. This is his 2nd time getting presented before the board here. He's a 2-time state qualifier. He had a regular season record of 19-3. His only 3 losses were to former state place finishers. He competed this year in an incredibly tough 75-pound weight class. His sectional consisted of the 1st place finisher, the 3rd place finisher, and the 4th place finisher. He still managed to get out of our sectional tournament to qualify for the state competition. His bracket was absolutely loaded, and Brian had a chance to wrestle with the best of the best this year, and I know that he's got his heart set on finding that podium next year for a place finish. Ladies and gentlemen, the very well-dressed Mr. Brian Farley.
Good evening. Jane Adams has an absolutely fabulous wrestler who placed 6th in the state, who Mom is currently bringing. So if you wouldn't mind letting maybe the band go and we can bring him up when he gets here. Thank you.
Good evening, President Quigley, members of the board, Dr. Mitchum, senior leadership, members of the audience, and members of the community. It gives me great pleasure for us to be honoring 2 different large groups of students, probably the best representatives of Romeoville High School in our all-state pep band and our all-state cheerleading group that we have that we're going to be recognizing. But first, I have to introduce Mr. Clark Anderson, who's going to be introducing our all-state band student. Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, good evening. I'm here to introduce Ashley Zipperich. Ashley, if you would come down. She has been a district qualifier 3 years in a row, and she's currently a senior. And she's one of our few students that we've ever had that has been really outstanding on 2 different instruments. Her junior year and her senior year, she also qualified at the district level on bass trombone along with euphonium. So on euphonium, she's been an all-state qualifier 2 years in a row and also made the honor band at All-State on euphonium. Congratulations, Ashley Zipperich. All right. Yes. For the 2nd year in a row, we sent an audition recording to IHSA back in November. And for the 2nd year in a row, we were ranked the #1 pep band in the state. So that's quite an honor. So back in November, we utilized one of our students. He's not here tonight, but his name's Jack Splitgerber, and he recorded our band with video and audio, and we spent an entire evening on our stage back at Romeoville High School recording the band. And then we also went out into the gym and did one of our basketball games. I think it was the opening night. And we took video of the band, and then we sent that into the state. So there's a group of IHSA music officials that will review all of the bands. And there were 55 bands that auditioned this year, and we were ranked the top group for the second year in a row. So I have a portion of our All-State Pep Band with us tonight. Typically at our home basketball games, we usually have about 80 to 90, which is pretty large. At the tournament on Friday, we're going to be playing for 4 games. And so they only allow us to bring 40 students. So we're utilizing our top band members to do this trip on Friday. And so I'm gonna call out all 40 that are attending, and we have some of them here tonight. Dario Alonso, Darian Anaya, Anthony Arredondo, Matt Bauman, Sarah Bestuina, Juliet Bianas, Ryan Boots, Peyton Camden, Michael Daum, Mackenzie Davis, Moira Delaney, Corinne Doty, Syed Fatimi, Michelle Gasik, Azucena Gomez, Tim Gorman, Tamron Jordan, Kayla King, Emma Kloss, Alyssa Kruger, Jada King, Josh Lee, Logan McCormick, Carver Miller, Michael Molick, Chris Noga, Daisy Orozco, Arta Osmani, Kevin Paces, Edwin Quiroz, Justin Roberts, Michael Rodriguez, Justin Rosales, Zach Smith, Jack Splitgerber, Zoe Swank, Daniel Torres, Janelle Vamores, Nico Velazquez, and of course, our All-State euphonium player, Ashley Zipperich. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. I know we're really looking forward to and we're rooting for Bolingbrook to win that super sectional game this week so we could be down there as an all-state pep band, and then obviously the all-state basketball team from Valley View. It would be a great opportunity for the Spartans to play for the Raiders down there for the state tournament. So we're rooting for them in both capacities going forward. So thank you, Mr. Anderson. It gives me a great privilege to announce our state cheerleading competitors. They were super excited, and awesome performance that they had at Lamont High School. They went through a lot of adversity this year with injuries and other situations that have pulled off their best routine of the year to qualify for state at the Lamont sectional, and had a wonderful time and a wonderful presentation down at the state tournament down in Bloomington this year as well. So without further ado, Mrs. Chrissy Kinder.
Good evening to Mr. Quigley, the board members, along with Dr. Mitchum and senior administration. My name is Chrissy Kinder, as Derek said, and I'm the cheerleading coach at Romeoville. This year, as Mr. Kinder said, was filled with adversity, but the group of athletes behind me overcame everything and really came together as a team when it mattered. And it showed me more than the athleticism that these ladies have, but also the character that they displayed all throughout the season. So I just want to thank them, and I would like to thank my assistant coaches, Kaylee Johnson and Renee Dignan, for all of their dedication this year. It's really impossible to do things alone, so I really am just very appreciative of the group effort that we had this year. In addition, I do want to just say a special thank you to Mr. Strode and Mr. Kinder for all of your support this season, coming to sectionals, coming down to state for us. It really means the world, so thank you. Last group I want to thank is our parents. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we're at. You guys drove in snow, sleet, ice, everything. You made it down, so thank you for everything. We couldn't do it without you guys. Without further ado, I would like to recognize my athletes. First, Peyton Camden. Madison Florence, Alexis Gabrelsic, Maya Herman, Christina Rodriguez-Jones, Tyann Turgan, Sierra Worley, Morgan Zebarth, Karina Zotto. And although they couldn't make it this evening, I would like to recognize 3 other members on our state qualifying team: Alicia Barajas, Shayna Bordas, and Mira Escalon. Thanks again.
Good evening. My name is Art Tansel, and on behalf of Dr. Polson and Ms. Adonik, I'm here to represent Derek Ruffin. He, unfortunately, Mom said he was on his way and he's not here, but we have to persevere through, and there's time constraints. So just wanted to say a couple words. This year was his first year wrestling. He actually joined us in January at 70 pounds, and just the determination in this young man it was unbelievable. And he qualified. He was the only one to qualify for the state tournament from our school. One of the 4 who qualified for the district, and he ended up placing 6th. So for those of you guys who aren't aware, the guys that are really great only end up wrestling 3 matches. So like the guy who won the championship wrestled 3 matches. Derek wrestled a total of 6. So unfortunately, just how tournaments work with wrestling, when you lose, you have to wrestle more. And he did. He just perseveres. He's a great kid. Takes honors math class, has a cumulative GPA 2.5. Just a tremendous student, tremendous person. We're glad to have him at Jane Addams, and unfortunately he couldn't be here this evening, but thank you guys all for your time. I stand corrected. He just got here. So if you guys wouldn't mind just another. I could say it again, but I'll be honest, I was winging it, so. Derek, hey Derek, come here, bud. I'll say a few words. Come here. You're good. This is Derek Ruffin. He is, again, a 7th grader here at Jane Addams, and he had a tremendous season. I told him all about how you did at sectionals in state, and you wrestled 6 matches, and you were awfully tired, but you had a good time, and hopefully you continue it, right? Continue wrestling and doing good things. So, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Ruffin. All right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to take this, and then you're going to shake all these people's hands, okay?
I'd like to make a motion to be President Pro Temp because Mr. Quigley had to step out for a moment.
Second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Member Perro,
Yes.
Member Badouris,
Yes.
Member Campbell, Secretary Sikora,
Yes.
and Vice President Zach.
Yes. Next, we have the high school student liaison report.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Joseph Vasquez, and I'm a senior at Romeoville High School. Good evening. We would like to congratulate our cheer team and our prep band for all the hard work and dedication they put into their season. Congrats to both groups. First, we wanted to share with you our second semester Spartan Service Week we have been working on. As you know, during second semester, we choose a project to work on that will benefit others and a group in a better community. Sorry. In the past, we have chosen St. Baldrick's in the Special Olympics for our projects. Student leadership decided to make St. Baldrick's an event we host every 2 years to allow each of our students the opportunity to experience this amazing event at least once during their high school career. However, we wanted to explore other areas we can donate our time and energy to as well.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Gonzalez, and I am a sophomore at Romeoville High School. This year, we are Sorry. This year we are hosting a Spartan Service Week. During this week, we'll be hosting several events to raise money and fund a service project. We are hosting a dodgeball tournament, an escape room event, and a powder puff football game. After we raise the money, we plan to donate some money to local food pantries and use the rest to make spring goodie bags for local hospitals to distribute to children who are in their care. We are excited about this project and looking forward to making a difference within our community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Datuna Delabung. I'm a junior from Romeoville High School. Additionally, we wanted to show you some of the artwork our clubs and organizations have been working on during the past month. In the past, we painted the bathrooms at RHS to brighten them up and add a personal touch to the building. This year, we decided to paint four murals and paint Spartan heads. Each club has painted the Spartan heads to represent their group. It's a great way to use. It's a great way for us to be able to personalize our school and that we can change our Spartan heads on a regular basis. We have 4 murals painted this year. Best Buddies Leadership, LASSO, and NHS painted a mural. They will stay up for 1 year. Next year, 4 new groups will paint a mural. The murals will be hanged up outside of our cafeteria for our visibility. And these are examples of the Spartan heads that some of the groups painted. Thank you.
Thank you, Romeoville. Up next is Bolingbrook.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the community and our school board. My name is Kazim Niaz, and I would just first like to say that we actually did have 2 other student liaisons who were going to attend, but they were unfortunately unable to make it. So I would first like to start off by saying that the halfway point of second semester has been looking extremely bright at Bolingbrook High School. As students are preparing to take their exams, we are starting to see more effort being put in from students themselves. Just recently, about 1,146 students have registered to take 1 or more AP exam, and this number is an increase from last school year because more students have taken advantage of scholarship opportunities in order to pay for their exams. Personally, I believe that offering students the ability to receive a scholarship for their AP exams have proven a greater outcome of registering. Speaking on that matter, AP exams at Bolingbrook High School will begin on May 6th and will continue until May 17th. More information as well as the schedule can be found on Bolingbrook High School's website for any parents of current AP students. Did you know that there is student-led tutoring in our library every morning before school? As a math tutor in the library, I have seen the engagement in my fellow peers. This allows for stronger collaboration among students and a unique one-on-one experience. Students are able to get the guidance they need, whether that is help with an essay in their English class or preparing for their math exam. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, up next, audience participation. Any individuals would like to speak? Sorry, Board liaison reports. To my right? To my left? That's done. Audience participation, seeing none, that is done. Action report, Dr. Mitchum.
Yes, I'd like to ask that the board approve student due process case A as presented.
So moved. Second.
Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes. Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent Rachel Kinder.
No report.
Mr. Grzafti.
3 action reports this evening, beginning with the computing device refresh for the next school year. We're seeking approval to replace our aging staff laptops that have reached the end of their useful life. We'll be replacing them with an upgraded laptop that will provide increased functionality with a touchscreen, flip capabilities, and also the ability to be used as a tablet along with a stylus. In addition, approval is being sought for the purchase of replacement student and staff Chromebooks, which will add touchscreen capabilities in the Chromebooks for the paraprofessionals. Staff laptops are the bulk of the purchase, 1,597 units, primarily for classroom instructors, 55 for paraprofessionals, and 66 being used for consumer and tech ed. Staff and Chromebooks for students and staff, 2,782 units there. 2,195 will be deployed to students. Staff will receive 577, including 223 being assigned to parapros, bringing the total to the 2,782. We've got the spec sheets included in the illustration there. We are recommending Dell Latitude 2-in-1s for the staff laptop devices and Dell 5190s, which is an 11-inch Chromebook for the students. Overall, you've got 1,597 laptops, 2,782 Chromebooks. Total price before financing, $1,654,216. These funding sources to cover these costs will be incorporated in next year's technology, student services, and CTE budgets, and will be financed via a tax-exempt lease, as we have done over the last 10 years. That's the recommendation.
So moved.
Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
Second action this evening is a recommendation for the mechanical replacement of the Romeoville High School gymnasium air handling units. This project will allow for a comprehensive replacement of the equipment and ductwork, providing a more functional, energy-efficient system as follows. We're replacing those old mechanical units with 2 new air handling units located in the east mezzanine of the gymnasium. Those 2 units are sized to provide the same total capacity as existing older units. They'll provide both heating and air. The new ductwork will branch out between the roof trusses so as to not affect the clear ceiling height of the gymnasium, and will include better sound mitigation. This new equipment will be controlled through our building automation system, allowing programming based on building needs and providing a more energy-efficient delivery of heating or air. Bids were solicited and opened publicly on February 27th. We received 7 bids. We are recommending at this point the low bidder, Mechanical Concepts of Illinois, from right here in Romeoville. We did a thorough scope review with them, substantiating their bid is fully compliant with our project specs. They've done work for us in the past, primarily in the kindergarten expansion project throughout the school district. Our intention is to start this summer and complete before the start of the next school year. So the recommendation is to award the contract for mechanical systems replacement at Romeoville High School Gymnasium to the low bidder, Mechanical Concepts, in the amount of $908,000.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
Final action this evening is a recommendation for the earthwork for artificial turf projects at both Bolingbrook and Romeoville High School. Included in this capital improvement program are the BHS football soccer fields, the varsity baseball, varsity softball fields, the football and soccer field at Romeoville High, but does not include the work for the work at the RHS Sports Complex. The report for earthwork is below the artificial turf. Basically includes the excavation of the ball field infields to propose a subgrade and for field drainage. The football soccer stadium will be recrowned from the center to the curb by adding aggregate and regrading that will allow for better drainage. Excuse me. Trench for new electric lines under and adjacent to the football field to provide electric outlets for scoring tables, scoreboards, and general power needs during events. As well as including concrete curbing for the artificial turf termination where it abuts the natural grass at the infield edges of the ball field. We also solicited alternates to replace the football goalposts and foundations at both schools. They're approaching 14 years old, beyond repair, and the bolt connections to the base foundation are starting to fail. Also, as a final alternate, is add and replace chain link fencing at the BHS varsity baseball field. We opened bids on February 26th. We received 2 bids, and we're recommending Integral Construction, also of Romeoville. At this point, we are recommending that the base bid, including alternate 1, 2, and 3, be accepted due to being under budget. Integral is the low bidder. Their bid is deemed to be fully compliant with the project specs. They were the contractor, if you may remember, for the BHS storage building that was constructed last summer. They've also had successfully completed other projects with Field Turf, who's the supplier for the turf product, the actual carpet itself. And the excavator that they use has completed work on turf projects in the past as well. This project is intended to begin this spring on the ball fields and in the summer on the football soccer complex, with completion slated to end before the start of next school year, August 2019. The recommendation is to award the contract for earthwork and artificial turf projects at Bolingbrook and Romeo High Schools, including the base bid, alternate number 1, number 2, and number 3, to the low bidder, Integral Construction, in a net total amount of $594,320.
May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Any questions or discussions?
I have a question. I would hope that I'm not the only one asking this, but I might be. What is a rotating goal post and why would we need that?
Good question. I asked the same question myself. The way it was explained to me, it allows the goalpost to be to swing out of the way for allowing soccer to have more space, so the soccer goals can be placed deeper into the end zone.
I get it. My daughter played soccer. I saw those before. Roll call vote, please.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Dr. Nash.
Thank you, sir. Action Report 13.1 is our consolidated action report for certified and classified personnel. This evening, we're seeking your approval on 51 items for certified personnel, 27 items for classified personnel, 4 items for classified administrative personnel, and 6 items for certified administrative personnel.
Give a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes.
Action Report 13.2 is resolution number 1917, which is authorizing the non-reemployment of part-time teachers and teachers who have been hired under a temporary contract.
Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. A roll call vote, please.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes.
Action Report 13.3, we are seeking approval this evening for Resolution 1918, which is authorizing non-reemployment of part-time and temporary educational support personnel.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. A roll call vote, please.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes.
Action Report 13.4, we are seeking approval for Resolution number 1919, authorizing the dismissal of educational support personnel employed for reasons other than reduction in force.
A motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. A roll call vote, please.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes.
Action Report 13.5, this evening we are seeking your approval for Resolution number 1920, authorizing the honorable dismissal of certified personnel.
Motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Questions or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Okay. Superintendent information reports.
No report.
Legal Service,
No report.
AFT, Valley View Council, Valley View Office Personnel Council. Any old business? Any new business? Questions from the public? Let's see, regarding the public comments, please be advised that the board has the right under the board policy to limit public comments to 5 minutes on any actions that have been taken by the board this evening. See none. Any announcements from the board? To my right? To my left? Any announcements by the administration? Any announcements by the public? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor, aye, say aye. Aye. We are dismissed. Have a good night.